It wasn't the SUV on my lawn that finally broke me. It was Karen twirling next to it like she'd just annexed Poland, waving a barbecue tong in one hand and a plastic cup of box wine in the other, yelling to her guests that my driveway was now community overflow parking. And if that wasn't enough, her grown son Brad had just double-parked his lifted truck behind my sedan, sealing in like my house was some kind of suburban loading dock. Then he slapped a reserved for VIP sticker on my hood and cracked open a beer. Yeah, that happened. I stood there holding a binder full of documents for a city planning meeting I was already late for. 6 months of work tried to turn the empty field behind our block into a proper green space, and I could actually feel my pulse in my ears. My fingers tightened around that folder so hard the paper edges bent. This wasn't the first stunt they'd pulled, but something about the way Karen laughed, head thrown back like she just invented comedy, told me it was going to be the last. 2 months earlier, I'd moved into this neighborhood chasing the suburban dream. Quiet evenings, trimmed hedges, maybe a dog barking somewhere in the distance. Instead, I got Karen, self-declared HOA queen. Crown invisible, ego very real. Her son Brad didn't technically live with her, but he treated the street like a truck stop and the rules like optional reading. I tried to be civil at first. Neighborly. A polite note under the windshield wiper. A knock on the door. Even a conversation about respecting private property. Karen smiled at me like I'd just asked for a participation trophy. "We're a community," she said, tilting her oversized sunglasses down her nose. "Sharing space is neighborly. Sharing space. In my driveway, Brad once drained motor oil into the storm gutter and told me it was basically biodegradable. Offer me half a breakfast sandwich like that solved it." Karen nodded like he'd just solved climate change. I documented everything. Photos, timestamps, HOA bylaws printed and tabbed, municipal codes highlighted. I didn't want a war. I wanted peace. But peace only works when the other side believes in it. Then came the neon orange flyer, taped to every door like a campaign poster, announcing Karen's annual kickoff cookout, open to all respectable residents. In bold letters, community spirit means sharing space. That same night, a pink sticky note appeared on my mailbox. "Jordan, please move your car Saturday noon to 8 p.m. to make room for guests. Appreciate you, Kay. Appreciate you." Saturday came in hot and cloudless. By 11:30, folding chairs scraped the pavement, coolers thudded onto grass. Bass from a Bluetooth speaker vibrated through my kitchen window. Cars rolled in like it was a county fair. And of course, one by one, they parked across my driveway. Karen stood in an American flag apron directing traffic like an air marshal. Brad backed his truck behind my sedan with deliberate precision, sealing me in. He tossed his keys onto the grill table and high-fived someone holding a cornhole bag. My phone buzzed, 12:15 meeting reminder. Miss this, and the green space proposal dies. I walked outside, calm voice, steady tone. "Karen, I need the driveway clear. I have an appointment." She sipped her wine. "It's just one afternoon, Jordan. Can't you reschedule?" "No." Her smile disappeared like someone flipped a switch. "You always act like rules don't apply to you." I almost laughed at that one. Brad shrugged mid-burger bite. "Sorry, bro." They genuinely believed I was the unreasonable one. So I went back inside, printed the HOA bylaw section on blocking private driveways, Community Code 4.2.1, highlighted it neon yellow, grabbed the security camera footage, texted my lawyer friend. "You've got everything," he replied. "Call the tow company. Make sure the violation's active." Outside, Karen raised her wine glass. "Jordan, you're still invited if you promise to smile." I smiled, and I called. 2 flatbeds. 45 minutes. The calm that settled over me wasn't smug. It was surgical. Outside, burgers hissed on the grill. Laughter floated through the air. Bass thumped like a heartbeat. My driveway sat hostage under sunlight. I taped the highlighted bylaw to my front door with a simple note. Notice of violation. Documented and enforced. 15 minutes before arrival, I stepped onto my porch with a glass of iced tea. Karen raised an eyebrow. "Change your mind." "Oh, I'll be part of it," I said. Then I heard it. Low diesel engines turning the corner. Two tow trucks rolled in like synchronized cavalry. Hazard lights blinking. Engines rumbling. At first, no one noticed. Then a driver stepped out and grabbed the tow hook. Karen froze. Then she exploded. No, no, no. This is private property. The tow operator raised his clipboard calmly. Authorization from homeowner. Vehicles blocking private driveway. Brad stumbled forward, chest puffed, slurring something about his rig. The second operator stepped in, quiet and firm. Back away, sir. Phones came out. Guests stopped mid-bite. Someone started filming. Brad tripped over a cooler, soaking himself in neon Gatorade. The crowd laughed, not cruelly, just instinctively, like the universe had timed the punchline perfectly. Karen's SUV lifted first. Then Brad's truck followed, groaning as it tilted upward. The spectacle was undeniable. As the trucks pulled away, I said just loud enough, "Next time, maybe issue parking passes." Laughter rippled across the yard. Karen's barbecue kingdom collapsed in real time. But that wasn't the end. That was Act 1. That night, I found a letter taped to my mailbox. Notice of intent TO, file, HOA violation for hostile conduct. You will regret this. I laughed out loud. By morning, the tow video was everywhere. Neighborhood Facebook groups, meme pages. Someone added dramatic music and captioned it, "When HOA Karen meets municipal code." Even better, an anonymous resident posted screenshots of the bylaws, proving I'd acted within my rights. And then came the twist. Stories poured in. Mr. Lawrence from 2 houses down shared a stack of handwritten citations Karen had given him for wind chimes and putting out Halloween fog before October 15th. Apparently, it disturbed migratory birds. Sharon said Karen once threatened to fine her 4-year-old for riding a bike without a helmet on the sidewalk. Turns out I wasn't the villain in this story. I was just the first one who'd said no. Karen called an emergency HOA meeting to address disruptive behavior. Translation: punish me. The clubhouse filled like a courtroom drama. I brought documentation, photos, video stills, a note from my lawyer. Karen opened with a speech about tradition and respect. Her voice shook with fury. When she accused me of orchestrating public humiliation, I calmly raised my hand. I walked through the timeline, played the clip of Brad slurring and blocking my car. Silence. Then a chuckle. Then more. When she demanded I be censured, the board refused. When she asked for fines, denied. When she accused me of weaponizing towing companies, someone in the back said, "Sounds like she weaponized her SUV first." Motion to replace HOA leadership passed overwhelmingly. The vote was set. The week felt like a low-budget political thriller. Anonymous notes, fear campaigns, backyard brunch rallies. Karen even offered to step down quietly if I publicly apologized and supported her advisory role. I didn't respond. Election night packed the clubhouse wall to wall. Ballots dropped into a box one by one. Brad watched like a hawk. The tally wasn't close. Karen lost in a landslide. Every board seat turned over. No fireworks, just reality landing like a hammer. They asked for a clubhouse key. Outside, neighbors laughed freely for the first time in months. Someone played music. No one flinched. A week later, a moving truck pulled up to Karen's house. Curtains twitched all over the block. Brad stomped around loading boxes. Karen barked into her phone, blaming conspiracies and doctored footage. No one waved goodbye. Not one. And then they were gone. The new board hosted a proper block party in the community park, neutral ground. Taco truck. Bounce house. No driveways commandeered. No fear. A couple approached me quietly. "You gave us a backbone," the husband said. "But here's the thing. I didn't feel like a hero. I felt like someone who finally stopped accepting something that never made sense." Neighborhoods aren't built on power. They're built on respect. When someone uses authority to intimidate, silence becomes permission. It took one tow truck, well-timed, to remind everyone that rules apply to everyone. That was the real shift. Not revenge. Not humiliation. Accountability. Now I sit on my perfectly clear driveway some evenings, iced tea in hand, listening to distant laughter and the hum of a peaceful street. No truck sideways. No SUVs kissing my garage door. just quiet. Sometimes I glance at Karen's old house, dark, empty, waiting for new owners who hopefully understand what community actually means. There was no parade, no confetti, just the simple satisfaction of knowing I didn't have to yell to make things right. All it took was one well-timed tow. But here's the question that still lingers. Where's the line between standing up for yourself and going too far? If I hadn't made that call, would anything have changed? Or would we all still be parking around someone else's ego? I'd love to know what you think. Have you ever dealt with someone who mistook authority for ownership? Did you push back or let it slide? Tell me, where do you draw the line between patience and action?